Welcome back, subscribers, bell clickers, and fans of follically challenged YouTubers. This right here is unequivocally, I said that word incorrectly, unequivocally the most fun thing that you can do in Automobilista 2. And that is drive the new Rallycross content, but ignore the Rallycross tracks, ignore the 5-car limitation of real-world Rallycross. Don't need to copy the boring stuff of reality. Get the Rallycross cars, stick them on a full-size circuit, add 24 cars or even more. Just add all the cars, maximum cars. Put the opponent's skill level on the maximum setting. Put aggression on the maximum setting. Put damage on the maximum setting. And set yourself, like the loser that you are, to start in last place. I've set the track here to 5 laps as well, but you know, you could do 4, you could do 5, it doesn't really matter. And you can do the weather to whatever you want. You might want to use the rain and stuff, because that's one thing that Automobilista 2 actually does quite well, is the different weather, and you can have it changing things. But it doesn't matter, it's a rallycross car, it doesn't care what the weather is. It's a proper vehicle, it's not like a stupid namby-pamby Formula car where you can't drive it in the wet. You can set the rubber of the track to whatever you want as well. Rallycross car doesn't care how rubber the track is, it doesn't care if you're on the grass, it doesn't care. It's a proper car, not of a namby-pamby race car. So you've got all those settings, and then you click start. And I'm telling you guys, this is peak AMS2. This is literally, you can't do this in any other simulator, and this is genuinely fun. And there's a couple of reasons why I think this is so fun. A big one, I think, for Rallycross, and weirdly, this is also the case with Project Cars 2. The Rallycross cars in Project Cars 2 were really good, way better than the track cars. And before people say it, I like compare AMS2 to Project Cars 2 in many ways, and I talk about Project Cars 2 and stuff. A lot of people slag off Project Cars 2. I actually played a lot of it, and I don't think Project Cars 2 is universally bad. It has some characteristics that aren't the best, or weren't the best, but it also has some really good characteristics. So when I say this is like Project Cars 2, it's not a complete diss. Partially it's a diss. It's a 50-50 diss. I actually quite like aspects of Project Cars 2. I know most sim races didn't, so maybe that message gets lost a bit. I'm going to move my brake bias back a tiny bit here, but we are ready now to do a 30-car grid rallycross race on Brands Hatch with damage on full. And so these rallycross cars, this is the Mini I think we just jumped in. I didn't really even check. Don't really matter. They're all fun. They're all rallycross cars. The rallycross cars in this, because they don't have like innate bite to them, and they tend to always be slidey, and they're all-wheel drive. That actually goes hand in hand with the nature of how AMS2 actually handles and drives, in that you don't expect these cars to have that sort of little bite window that you get with slick tyres on a race car with downforce. So these actually drive in what looks like a very similar way, and what you'd expect of a bloody rallycross car, you know, where you're really powering it through corners, sliding it, loads of suspension travel, really fun and nimble to like just dab in and turn into the corner. And you know, weirdly, the end result of this car is it actually feels like it has more bite and grip, more response than the track cars that are supposed to be high downforce pokey cars. So weirdly, this actually captures the essence that it's not supposed to, better than cars that's supposed to have it. But the result is, when you race this on a full-size track, with the AI on full. Unfortunately, on Brands Hatch, they're a little bit slow. I think they need to speed up the AI a bit with the rallycross cars. I don't know why they are so slow. But when you race this on the track, so you get the close racing with the AI, with cars that can slide wildly, and you can do massive drifts through the corners, and you can really bully and push people off. It's just really fun. It's just really fun racing. I honestly can't wait to do this with subscribers. And see who comes out on top. And when I was messing around with this last night, we had the damage on full, and an AI drove into the back of me, and we lost like a rear wheel, but the car was still drivable. Oh, the bonnet came off as well, and I was driving for a bit. I can't believe I didn't record it. I mean, I wasn't expecting to actually have fun at 3 in the morning. But the bonnet broke, and then after driving a bit, the bonnet flew off the car. It was like something from BeamMG. It was absolutely hilarious. So they've done a really good job with the damage model on these vehicles as well, which just adds to the fun, which I think is something that's massively lacking from a lot of sim racing. A lot of sim racing takes itself to I don't know, it takes itself too seriously or kind of misses that raw enjoyment factor. I honestly, you can't drive these rallycross cars in this format and not have fun. Even if you're actually trying to race and beat people and you're not winning, you notice straight away how like I just binned him. How these cars are actually really, really nimble and responsive to the to your like. Of course, as soon as I say that, oh, guys, that's how you do it, guys. Textbook. I learned that in iRacing. As soon as I say it's responsive and nimble, I bloody spit. It's that every time. Forget that didn't happen. It didn't happen, guys. These cars, when you're not being an idiot, they feel precise. I mean, in the context of a rallycross car, which is mental slidey anyway, but you do feel like you have really nice, subtle control over it. And I would actually say this drives better than. So the iRacing, the only iRacing rallycross car I've driven is that VW, which is, I think it's all right actually, as far as iRacing stuff goes. I'm not a big fan of iRacing, but I feel this obviously this is on tarmac, but on dirt as well, this feels more dynamic than the iRacing VW rallycross car. Like this feels like it's got a little bit more subtlety to it, a little bit more poise. The force feedback certainly more detailed than iRacing, especially with the. I can't say it because we'll get into trouble. The RFUKTO R 5.0.1 by Kirsten with Shaq and Panos. Best of Kirsten Havberg. Custom force feedback. Especially with that, this feels a lot better than iRacing. And I think with the default force feedback, actually, AMS2 is better than a lot of simulators, as I keep saying, for details. But with this custom force feedback file, for some reason, it sort of goes nicely with these vehicles. I find it makes them just more obvious what's going on. Look at that. Nice move up the inside there. This has been a recovery. We're still in 9th place, though. So I can't get too excited with my driving. I would say it's a shame this is just how rallycross cars are. It's a shame that you can't change the brake bias in the car. You have to do it in the setup screen. I probably need to like bind a handbrake as well. Because there's lots of times if you've got the brake bias further forwards, you want to get it turned in, you really need to have the handbrake set up. But if you don't have a handbrake, you can cheekily put the brake bias further back, which is probably not best for getting the most out of the braking and grip out of all the wheels and lap time. But if you just want the back to turn in at the compromise of how hard you can push the brake or how aggressively you can trail brake, moving the brake bias further back is quite good fun. But look at this. I've not tried different gearing yet for these tracks. That'd be the ultimate thing, because otherwise we hit the limit on the bigger tracks. This at Spa would be the ultimate combo. This should be the top esports stuff, guys. All the esports drivers driving in rallycross cars, side by side, maybe with some like you're allowed to take people out, team mode, and you're allowed to wreck other cars. Unfortunately, I haven't managed to get some damage in this. I should drive into a wall so you guys can see how the visual model on this actually breaks down when you crash. Let's drive. I'll drive. Whoa, rear wheels. Rear wheels on the grass there, but it's fine. Let's see if I can get a bit of damage on the car. Because it's surprised me how fun this car was to still drive. Oh, it's absolutely ramming. Oh, there we go. Oh. Right. Severe damage. That describes my mental state. Oh, let's just join into the traffic. What could go wrong? Oh, no, my car is severely damaged. There's bodywork everywhere. There we go. So, look at this. Even though the car is absolutely knackered, I'm sure the bonnet will fly off now. It's still, the steering's at an angle. It's going slower. It's now turning in weirdly on the brakes, but it's actually still drivable in a fun way. Most sims, when they have damage, it's like, it feels like uber baked and not enjoyable. BeamNG's enjoyable when you've got damage, that's about it. BeamNG and Wreckfest. But any of the actual driving simulators out there, as soon as you have damage, it's just, stop, it's over, finished. But to say they've actually done a really good job with the damage on these vehicles. And it's still on the forgiving side, I think. I've just absolutely pulled myself to the grass there. You do have to have quite a heavy contact to actually do damage, but then again, I think that's actually more fun. I think that's more enjoyable. There it goes! I don't know how the bonnet ends up going in front of us rather than behind us. But look at that! Perfect. I can't imagine what this is going to be like to do in VR, but I can only imagine it'd be really, really good fun having bits of bodywork fly off, and obviously all in 3D. Turn it in. And you do, obviously I'm just messing around here, but you do actually get really rewarded with this for driving it properly, for like doing proper rallycross lines and like sliding it smoothly and just doing it you know, holding the correct amount of slip. And then with the force feedback, especially this RFUKTO force feedback file, it actually does the correction of it. It actually feels quite natural. It's not overactive on the force feedback. Nice detail, nice vibrations for the tyre slip and stuff. You can feel the braking. You know, really good. Genuinely good. Genuinely good, guys. Even if you were like a really big AMS2 cynic, I think you would struggle not to find this actually really enjoyable. They still need to sort the camera settings out for those of us that get motion sick. But yeah, we will definitely, when I'm next available to live stream, we will definitely be doing subscriber races with this. Let's see if we can break the car even more by driving to wall. Because this, with like a 30-car human grid, and who can win on the different tracks, I'm telling you guys, this might be the Clio Cup of AMS2. Whoa! There goes the wheel. Oh no. If you were like fans of the channel back in the day, you know, we would just drive. We found the Clio Cup in Project Cars 2, and yeah, but it wasn't, in that case, it wasn't particularly realistic, but it was bloody good fun, and that's all that matters with sim racing. If you're not trying to use a sim to then go and practice driving a real car, is it fun? The Clio Cup was fun, and I think this car on full-size tracks with lots of vehicles and damage on, it's fun. Congratulations to Reza. Finally, something actually fun and different compared to other sims, not just something that's it's almost as good as AMS1, it's almost as good as AC, which are 10-year-old plus games. The comments on some of the AMS2 videos where people are like, oh, I like it, it's almost as good as a game that's 10 years old. Almost as good as a 10-year-old game. Oh, what's going on, people said. Anyway, thanks to everybody for supporting us, for being members and stuff. Thanks for everyone for watching this. The Rallycross content for this mode at all, 100% worth the £16. I've decided this is now AMS2. Rallycross 2. Fact. Done. Solved. I'm happy to be able to actually be happy about AMS2. As an early AMS2 fanboy, I'm happy to finally have something that I can actually point to and say, this is better than something, probably any other Rallycross stuff you could do in any other sim. There we go. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Thanks for being members. Thanks for being subscribers. Thanks for clicking the like button. Thanks. No thanks. No, go away. Don't come back. Happy tea drinking. Take care. And goodbye.